Hey there, friends, this is your old pal Slap High Hope Jackson saying, you ain't living, not even a smidgen, if you ain't surf fishing. All right, now I got an interesting show for you here. You know, before the storm, I was looking around the North Shore of Long Island. I was looking for fish, bait fish, predators, and let me show you what I found up there in just a moment. But I also got a call from Sea Isle. Now, among other things, Sea Isle are custom rod builders, and they're located in Freeport. They have a new Lamiglas prototype, and they asked me to check it out for its casting ability, and I'll show you all about that as well. But you know, I also found some old recording tape and some old video of me doing a whole host of different songs. I was able to remix and remaster 4 CDs of this music. The first CD I'm going to show you this show is from the 20s, the 30s, and the 40s. But I have a CD full of the blues, a CD full of rock and roll, and the 4th CD is probably my favorite. You know, it afforded me an opportunity to record some of the best songs ever written. So why don't you sit back, why don't you turn up your speakers, and let's take a quick look at the 20s and 30s and the 40s.
Hey, y'all know, somebody till somebody loves you. Hey, y'all know, somebody till somebody cares. Please release me, let me go. 'Cause I don't want. And when two lovers woo, they still say I love you. On that you can rely. No matter what the future brings as time goes by. I can't stop loving you. You're made of my mind to live in memory of the lonesome time. I just live my life in dreams of yesterday. On the right way, now that Maggie's back in town. Back.
All right, so I started to look around the North Shore. I was trying to find some bait. Mostly I find spearing and snappers on them. But over here in Huntington Harbor, I found some adult bunker. And I worked my popping plug all around the school, but there were no predators on them. The only thing that was on them was this bird. Now, from this zoom, which is the furthest zoom I can get on my camera, I believe that's a common loon. And he's got himself a nice fish in his mouth. At first, I thought it was a snapper, but no, it's going to turn out to be a full-size bunker. Now, he's under the water there. Either he's making sure it's stunned or halfway dead, or he's positioning in his bill. But I'm having a little trouble with my battery, so I have to fix it, and I zoom back in, and look at this. All right, he's trying to get it down his throat. Here he is lifting it. Oh, look at that. One more time. Yeah! All right, finally he gets that bunker down his throat, but look at his bill. You could still see the tail fin hanging out of his beak. Yeah, you're right. He hasn't swallowed it yet. Well, not all the way. I mean, look how distended his throat is. I mean, you can still see the fin hanging out of his beak. Anyhow, I'm having trouble with my battery, so I gotta shut it off, but nonetheless, eventually he swallows that bunker all the way down. All right, friends, I got a call from Sea Isle. They have a prototype of a new Lamiglas Rod, and they asked me to give it a little test, so I did. All right, now it is a beautiful piece of merchandise. It's 10-foot, one-piece rod, Lamiglas Airwave prototype, and you could just see the workmanship. Rob's the owner there, and Chuck is the guy that made this rod. Don't worry about the little fuzz underneath there, because that's just some grass when I put it down on my lawn. But that adjustable reel seat is held onto the rod by a couple of turns of some electrical tape in 3 places, which makes that reel fully adjustable on the rod, and you can set it to anything you like. Well, I taped the rod up to my backyard wall, and you could just take a look here at the rod. Plus, with the shadow, you can see all about those guides, especially this one, which is a very special guide. Notice it's a 2 guide in 1, and again, you could see the beautiful work Chuck does on that rod. Anyhow, here's another angle of that guide, and it's a special guide I've never seen before, and it's supposed to allow less friction, capture the line appropriately, and give you more casting. Here's a couple of the regular guides that are on the rod as well, and again, you could see the beautiful work they did. So I did a little bit of test. I started with the rod I use mostly every day, an 8-foot one-piece by St. Croix. It's got a Van Stall 150, and I threw a 3-ounce sinker on it. The damn thing went 79 yards on the football field. All right, so I had a 10-foot CTS rod. I put the same reel on it with the same 3-ounce sinker, and I threw that sucker out there, and guess what? It went 88 yards. So, hey, that was pretty good for the CTS. Well, I got the Lamiglas out. I put the same Van Stall on it with the same, 3-ounce sinker. I gave it my best shot out there, and you could see it flying. It went exactly 88 yards. Well, if you remember, that reel seat I told you about was adjustable. Notice the CTS rod I used with its stock reel seat. It's much higher than where my St. Croix is, which is close to you. The Lamiglas I adjusted so that the reel was now very close to what the St. Croix was. Well, when I chucked it out there, I had a lot more power. I was throwing 79 with the St. Croix, CTS was 88, the Lamiglas was 88, but when I adjusted the reel seat, I got 98 yards out of it. Oh my God, it flew. Now, you adjust that a little bit, you put on a little different reel, a little bigger, the wind is behind you, you're going to be throwing in excess of 100 yards easy.